Hello from LA. I promise I'll stop saying that from now on. It will be hello from LA for the foreseeable future. Since I last spoke to you, I've moved from South America to North America, and what a way to start my LA life. Because if there is one film that has completely taken over the city, taken over airports, taken over shopping centers, and honestly taken over my first week here, it is Toy Story 5. Now, I called this one earlier in the year. If you've been listening for a while, you'll remember the episode released in January where I made some predictions around which movies will be licensing hits this year. I declared Toy Story 5 was going to be the biggest film of 2026 from a licensing perspective. Let's have a quick listen back. The Toy Story franchise has always been licensing gold. Yes, this is the fifth film, so we could see a little bit of franchise fatigue, but honestly, I think Toy Story will be unavoidable at retail, which was the case in 2019 with Toy Story 4. I'm giving this one wait for it, a 10 out of 10. This will be absolutely huge. Everything I predicted is now playing out in real time, except for the franchise fatigue. There is none of that. Now, before we get into the licensing side of things, let me tell you how this episode actually came together, because it's a little different to what I usually do. This one, I lived. For those of you who caught me on Instagram last week, you would have seen me documenting my journey from Brazil to my new home here in Los Angeles. And let me tell you, Toy Story was absolutely unavoidable on the way. In the airports in Brazil and the airport in the US, at every turn, retailers were going all in on this moment. Prior to leaving Brazil, I spotted some fun Toy Story product in store. Again, that was shared on Instagram. The brand really is everywhere. But here's the thing, in Brazil, almost every animated film gets dubbed in Portuguese. My Portuguese is relatively solid at this point, but sitting through a fast-paced kids film in Portuguese is genuinely exhausting. I went to see Zootopia 2 a few months ago, and I'm ashamed to say I fell asleep, not because the film was bad, it was great, but because I'd burned myself out trying to keep up with the dubbing by the time we hit the halfway mark. So I took a little kip. So I made the decision. The very first thing I would do on my first full day in Los Angeles, before I properly unpacked, before I sort my life out, was to have a themed Toy Story 5 afternoon, all to myself. And that's exactly what I did. Have a listen. Hello.
Hello, David.
How's it going?
Good, thank you. David?
There, yes, that's me.
Turn left on Village Drive, then turn right on West Jefferson Boulevard.
So my first stop on my Toy Story 5 themed afternoon is going to be Papa John's. It's lunchtime, I'm hungry. Why am I going to Papa John's? One, I love pizza, of course. But two, they're doing a partnership with Toy Story 5 right now. So Papa John's hosted a Planet Pizza pop-up last week here in LA, and I just missed it. Papa John's converted an actual restaurant location to look like a pizza planet from the films. There were claw machines, themed food, alien slime drinks, costume staff, and it was one of the hottest tickets in the city. Tickets were gobbled up almost immediately, I'm told. And for those who didn't get their hands on a ticket, they had long lines around the block in LA heat. But I did find someone that was there, Andrea, who you can find on Instagram as Cosplay Mum 99. She is an LA-based Toy Story superfan and cosplayer who somehow got her hands on a ticket. She got to the claw machine, she walked away with a pair of Toy Story Crocs. Lucky her. I tracked her down, I reached out to her, and I asked if she could tell me what it was like on the inside. So while I'm in the Uber waiting for my Papa John's Toy Story experience, have a listen.
So it was a Papa John's restaurant that had been decorated to look like the Pizza Planet, restaurant. One thing that was really nice is that there's a guy who actually has his own workable, drivable Pizza Planet truck. So he was out in front. And again, I think when people are doing these activations, it's really nice to have a photo opportunity for people who maybe didn't get the ticket, but you could still go and get a picture of that truck. So that was really fun. He's been taking his truck to different events, but he's not even with, the company itself. He's kind of private. So I got there early. I got in line. There was a wait line just for people who didn't have the ticket, and then the ticket only line. They were really organized. They had a lot of staff out front. They were doing like different color wristbands for like the 1 o'clock group, the 2 o'clock group. Again, I got there early. It was hot. So luckily, there was some shade. A lot of people in line had umbrellas. But then once we got in, it was actually a really small, little tiny place. Actually, my classroom was bigger than the event was in. But they had a claw machine with different prizes and the little balls that you can get. And they had a photo booth and they had like 4 different flavors of pizza and like a drink called Alien Slime.
Did you play the claw machine?
I did play the claw machine and I got Alien Crocs. They also had some sponsors. I think they had Pandora's, they had Crocs.
So you walked home with your Crocs?
They're actually going to mail them to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
they
Very
had a lot of staff, which was really good, but I was directed over to another person who had an iPad to put my address in and exactly what size I was going to get.
Oh, congrats. That's amazing. And so how did the alien slushy taste?
Very sweet, kind of like a Kool-Aid or like it wasn't really icy, but it was sweet. But it was actually, on such a hot day, it was actually really nice. I'll say that, I think the staff that were there were really trying to be accommodating for the people that were in line, and they would occasionally bring out the drinks just on trays. And then also, I think they kind of dedicated a certain amount of pizzas per time period. So I think when they were left over, they actually brought those out for the people that were in line as well.
Oh, good. For the hungry people waiting to get in.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And so I saw the video on your Instagram, which is Cosplay Mum 99. So if anybody wants to go and look at that, you can go on there. What else are you doing on your Instagram? Because I saw so many interesting videos, Andrea.
This was a crazy weekend. So I did the Pizza Planet pop-up on, I think that was Friday. And then Saturday I did the Harry Potter there's a drone show at the Dodger Stadium. So that was Harry Potter themed. So I dressed up as Mad Eye Moody and I got to go on the field and do their costume showcase. I'll be at all the conventions. I do horror cons like Son of Monsterpalooza. I do Comic-Con. D23 is coming up. D23 Expo is coming up, and Star Wars Celebration's coming up.
We're about 5 minutes away from Papa John's, and I want to take a moment to have a look at the Toy Story 5 section of the menu, because there is a special section on the Papa John's website. They have 4 flavors to choose from. The one I'm eyeing off is Space Ranger Ronnie. An intergalactic pizza mission awaits. It sounds like my type of mission. This out-of-the-world personal pizza has double pepperoni, cheese, and a whole bunch of other things going on. So that might be the one that I buy. Another option is Sheriff's Roundup, grilled chicken, onions, cheese, and barbecue. Also very good. What I'm loving about this is they've actually got pizzas. They've been very thoughtful about the flavors and what they're naming them, very much around Toy Story 5. There's nothing worse than a partnership where it just doesn't feel authentic, but here they've actually gone to the effort of creating flavors and names of the pizzas, which I love. So a couple of minutes away now, I'm gonna have to make a decision.
Drop off David.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. So here we are. It's right near a loud freeway, but we are in LA, so that's how it goes. And here on the front we have, it is the new Papa John's personal pizzas. You can see here we've got the Sheriff's Roundup, the Space Ranger Ronnie, Reach for the Pie on display. I'm gonna go in and make my selection. I'm now leaning towards Reach for the Pie. Let's see. Do you think if I get one of the Toy Story pizzas, is that enough for me? How big are they?
With the story,
Yeah.
which comes out
Oh, okay. That should be enough. Which is the most popular?
personally.
Okay, I'm gonna get that one, please. Has the Toy Story been popular here?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Right now, yeah.
Everyone's coming in for it. 10 minutes, okay. Thank you. Okay, I should be ready in 10 minutes. So I ended up going for the pepperoni one, only because I asked her which one is the best, which one to be the most popular. And she said pepperoni's the better. I'm gonna go for it. The other thing, she also said that they've been selling it really well, so that's good. I mean, it is Toy Story fever right now, so I'm not surprised they've done a really big kind of advertising push around it. So it's unsurprising that these Toy Story flavored pizzas have done really well here at Papa John's. Now I just have to kill 10 minutes. I'm starving. What am I going to do for 10 minutes? Some of you may not know that when I was younger, like 19, 20 years old, I actually worked at a Subway for a while. And we had a saying that was, if there's time to lean, there's time to clean. And the store was always immaculate. I've also worked at a pizza restaurant too. pizza shop takeaway. And I remember we were allowed to make whatever pizza we wanted for dinner, and I would make like this monster of pizza with just an endless amount of cheese and like olives, like 50 olives. Oh my gosh. It was embarrassing how much of a pile of food I would put on my pizza. Not expecting that today at Papa John's. So here it is. I think the flavor that I chose, Space Ranger Ronnie, has the alien in it. So each flavor has its own box. Very cool. That's all, you know. Oh yeah, it looks delicious. I mean, not my normal lunch that I would have, but, you know, this is work, of course. So, yum. Delicious. My next stop is a retailer. And we're going to have to make sure that I don't get kicked out this time. Last time I did a retail visit to spot some licensing. I did it with the whole launch license team. And we got kicked out for filming. But that was totally my fault. I made it too obvious. Wasn't being subtle at all. Had a big microphone. We made a big deal of it. If you haven't seen that YouTube video, you should definitely go have a look. It's quite fun. You can check that out on the Born for License YouTube channel. Okay, so I have a belly full of pizza, and my next Uber is going to take me to where? Target. I have a very specific thing on my shopping list, and it's breakfast cereal. Breakfast cereal at this hour, why do you ask? Well, Kellogg's is doing something with Toy Story 5 that they haven't done for 10 years. Stay tuned, I'm going to take you through it in real time. So I've just rocked up to Target. I'm going to go hunting for Kellogg's Toy Story 5 cereal. Let's go. Now I'm used to more of the Target in Australia, and they don't really have cereals or like grocery items in Target Australia. But they do here. This is enormous, my goodness. They have apparel and things like that, like Target in Australia, but here they also have heaps of groceries. Don't even know where to start, it's like a maze here. If I were a box of cereal, where would I be? Aha, I see apples and oranges and bananas. We're in the food section. Okay, frozen pizza, no, I've just had pizza, ice cream, rice and beans, olive oil, pasta sauce, peanut butter and jelly. Boom, cereals. Here is the cereal aisle. Let's see, where is the Toy Story product? There it is, look, Frosted Flakes, Cocoa Loops. We've got Rice Krispies. They're all here. We've got Corn Pops, Little Bites. Gosh, it's across a lot of product. So you can see here, the Frosted Flakes, going back to that one, has a collectible spoon figurine with Jessie. Turn it around, look, so on the back of the pack, actually let's start with the front. So on the front, you can clearly see it has a call to action with Disney Pixar Toy Story 5 with Jessie on the front, saying only in theaters. So again, trying to encourage people to go to cinema and see the film. On the back we have a game with Jessie. It's can you help Jessie find those words? So this is much more focused on kids than the Papa John's one. And then the spoons is to collect. So you've got Jessie, you've got Woody, and you've got Buzz. And then let's look at the Cocoa Loops and see what we've got on the back. This is all Buzz Lightyear. So you can see Buzz Lightyear is on the front with that Toy Story 5 call to action. And in the back, it's Buzz. This is very typical, kind of like classic cereal promotion, right? With games on the back and, of course, a premium gift inside. Now I need to decide which one am I going to buy and take home. What else is interesting? The cereal aisle. Our other friends are here. Look, we've got Scooby-Doo is here. We've got the Flintstones here as well. Okay, so I need to make a decision. So as I said, this is the first time Kellogg's has done something like this in over a decade. They've brought back the physical in-box prize. We're talking about actual gifts, prizes that are inside the box, physically inside the box. No digital redemption, there's no mail-in, there's no QR code. You buy the cereal, you open the box, and there is a toy inside, or in this case, it is the spoon. So the prizes are character spoon figurines, Woody, Buzz, and Jessie. And then there's also collectible trading cards. And those trading cards, they have some plot points and character introductions from the new film, including the antagonist Lilypad, who I'll get to see in a few hours. So from what I've been told, it is across Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks, Corn Pops, Rice Krispies, Frosted Mini Wheats, and Corn Flakes. And from what I can see, there is also a movie ticket promotion. Get a $15 movie ticket reward when you buy 3 boxes. So you buy 3 participating Kellogg's products in a single transaction, photograph the receipt, upload it, and you get a $15 Fandango promo code to go see the film, and that is running until 31st of July. This is really how you do a cinema tie-in, but again, let's talk about what's in it for Disney. They're lending their IP. What's in it for them? Well, again, they just want to get bums on seats. They want Toy Story 5 to be an enormous success at the box office. And so whether it's Papa John's, whether it's Kellogg's, whether it's their merchandise partners and consumer products, these are partners that are going to be out there talking about Toy Story 5, encouraging people to go see the film. I'm looking at the box and I can see Toy Story 5 only in theaters. That is a massive push. It's going to be across millions and millions and millions of packs. Anyway, look, I've made my decision. I'm going to go for the Rice Krispies. Is this the one? Does this actually have premium in it though? Oh no, this is the movie ticket one. I want to get the actual toy, so I don't think I'll do Rice Krispies. What am I going to get instead? Cocoa Loops? Alright, let's buy my Cocoa Loops. All done. Cocoa Loops purchased. Exiting Target now with my Cocoa Loops. I'll be having that for breakfast tomorrow morning. And I've just ordered the 3rd Uber in an hour and a half. This time I'm heading to the cinemas. I'm going to go watch Toy Story 5, the film I've been talking about on this podcast, and really the film that everybody's been talking about.
Turn left to stay on Runway Road, then drop off David.
I can walk from here if it's easier. Right here? Yeah. Okay. Wherever's best for you. All right, thank you too. So I've got Papa John's in my belly. I've got Kellogg's Cocoa Loops in my hand. And now it's time for the real show. I'm heading to Cinemark. I'm gonna go see Toy Story 5. Very excited. Hi. The next normal screening of Toy Story.
Like 3:15.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I'll have that.
Okay.
Thank
Just one
you.
ticket, right?
Not many seats. Wow, it's
Yeah.
packed. What would you say is the best seat?
I would get like row E.
Actually, I'm gonna go E5.
E5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then there's no one really in front of me. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Gonna be in theater 1.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thanks. Tickets ordered, and one thing I noticed was there was like 3 seats left. So, and luckily I'm here by myself, and I was able to just pick one of those. They were all single seats. I mean, it's 3 o'clock or 3:15 on a Friday, and it's going to be a full house. It's also not the only time that's screening. There's actually 3D 15 minutes before, and there's another 5 or 6 throughout the next couple of hours. So honestly, this is going to be an absolute blockbuster. The box office is going to go crazy for this. Really expecting $1 billion, 1.5. Could it get to $2 billion? Quite possibly. While I'm waiting, I did want to talk about the Toy Story franchise and really what it means, what it represents, and why it has become a cultural institution. Let me share some numbers with you because they're actually really staggering. The original Toy Story film in 1995, it was the first feature-length film to be entirely computer animated. It grossed $373 million at the worldwide box office. That was a lot. The budget was only $30 million, so enormously profitable. So of course they did Toy Story 2. That did even better, $511 million at box office. Then came Toy Story 3, and then after that, Toy Story 4, both passed the $1 billion mark at the box office. Toy Story 3 won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. This really is one of the most beloved IP in the history of entertainment. The buzz around this has been enormous, and I'll say this, the Taylor Swift connection has not hurt at all. Honestly, this film didn't really need the help with Taylor Swift. The audience was already there. One thing worth noting, and this is relevant beyond just the film, the UK has just announced a ban on social media for under 16s, following Australia's lead. And the core theme of Toy Story 5, the battle between classic physical toys and digital screens, lands very differently in that cultural context. The film has arrived at exactly the right moment. It's topical and it's important, and it's something that impacts families every day. That will get bums on seats at cinemas. Okay, we're getting close to 3:15. I'm going to head up and take my seat. I'm not going to be recording while there. That's a big no-no, but I'll check back in with you afterwards. So I've just walked out of the cinema, and let me tell you, I loved it. Toy Story 5 absolutely delivered everything I wanted it to be and more. And gosh, the cinema was full. Lots of kids running around. But, you know, that's what happens when you go see a kid's film. There's kids everywhere being loud and screaming and going to the bathroom halfway through. But now I'm not going to reveal anything at all from the film, except I will say there are some nice full circle moments. Those that grew up watching Toy Story 30 years ago. I think that's one of the things about Toy Story that's just makes it so successful and such a powerhouse IP, is that 30 years ago was when Toy Story came out, and it was an absolute phenomenon. Those people that, like myself, watched it when they were young, now they have children. And it's become this generational brand where parents are taking their kids to see it and enjoying it themselves. There is certainly enough adult jokes in there for the adults to really appreciate as well. And obviously the kids are going to absolutely love it. And absolutely, as expected, the tech versus toy theme was very prominent throughout. It was the kind of lead story throughout the film. And I won't tell you where it ends up, but you know, there's a lot of what's happening in the real world that was just reflected in that film. And I do wonder what parents and children will take away. What lesson will they take away from Toy Story 5? Will they be playing with their toys more? And will they be having less screen time? Quite ironic that that kind of lesson is being taught on an enormous screen, but hey. So that covers my Toy Story 5 themed afternoon, lunch at Papa John's with some pizza, going to Target to have a look at the Toy Story 5 Kellogg's range, and then of course going to see the movie, which was amazing. Now I want to give a shout out to one of our own clients here at Born to License because they really deserve it. Hippo Blue already had strong Toy Story product range in the market, and they've used the Toy Story 5 theatrical moment as a tentpole to launch a brand new range, this time leading with Jessie, and it looks fantastic. This is a really smart way to approach a major theatrical release. Use the cultural energy and the marketing spend that Disney and Pixar are putting into the film to amplify your own product launch. You ride the wave. That is what the theatrical window is for. So that is my first week in LA, thoroughly dominated by Toy Story fever, which honestly is not the worst way to start a new chapter. So expect a lot more of this kind of stuff. LA has so many amazing things happening that ties into licensing, and so I will be out and about, hitting the streets, going and experiencing things. So make sure to subscribe to the podcast, and I'll see you next time. I'm David Bourne, and this is Born to License.